Welcome to the Broken Pistol Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Down I-45 about 280 miles or maybe less. We got 10-time WCW World Tag Team Champion.
Indeed.
WWE Hall of Famer.
Indeed.
And because, bitch, Texas, straight shooting Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray, what's going on, my man?
Oh, not too much, brother. Just trying to make it.
Outstanding. So apparently, like, you ran into my sister at an event, and then that's how we end up connecting. What kind of event was it that you were at?
Well, just some of the political figures here in town that Just BU Magazine, Ashley Johnson, who president and CEO of that outfit, put on, and I'm involved in some of the local the political local scene here in town, and they asked me to host the event. So that's pretty much what it was.
Okay. Are you involved in the process at all as far as getting the youth registered or even getting the people of Houston to go out and vote outside of the moderation that you do?
What I try to do is just talk to people about, some of the political issues that's going on. And let people make their own minds up about that. I don't really consider myself as a political activist. I'm just a person that was dragged into the political scene because of certain circumstances, and that's pretty much how it goes as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Outside of the politics, I understand that you got your hand in the broadcasting a little bit, doing the podcast, radio show. What you got going with that?
Well, I've been doing that for quite some time, and actually, a lot of people don't realize that's actually what I actually wanted to go to school for, was to be into broadcasting and things like that. But I got bored with it, and who knew? 30 years later, it'll come back around. So.
So, I mean,
I'm on television, calling matches and stuff like that on the WCW program. So then I also was a writer I wrote a month-a-month column for the WCW magazine also. So stuff that I used to just play around with as a kid, kind of like came back into my life as a professional. So I kind of continued with it with some advice from my older brother, and he was like, "Man, you need to pursue that, man. You're pretty good at it, man. People like listening to you do your shtick, And I was like, wow, I just really kind of like playing around with stuff. And he heard me on the radio one day, and he was like, "Hey, man, I think you need to pursue that." So that's all. I got into the radio stuff and podcast stuff, and as of right now, I'm putting together I want to do a video magazine.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I'm working on right now, like a weekly show that I want to try to produce for YouTube, because I started a new YouTube station, and this is one of the things I've been trying to grasp for the last couple of years. I think I'm very close right now, so I want to make it like a news magazine where we chronicle a lot of the up and coming wrestling organizations, the independent wrestling organizations around the country. And that's dealing with young people and people that's trying to get it, that love this business and trying to get into it and come up. And what I want to do is do a show where we chronicle those different independent organizations around the country and showcase some of the young talent that's coming up in the pipe.
That's incredibly interesting.
And not only that, it'll be, to show their training facilities and things of that nature, and, who put the whole thing together, who's hot in that area, so on and so forth, all over the country, regional and abroad. And then, it'll be a news segment in the middle of it, whereas we will chronicle what's going on in the professional wrestling world as far as in the big organizations, and rumors, so on and so forth, and give a news background on that. And then in the third segment of it, I want to chronicle the legends of professional wrestling. So each week we will have a legend segment where we chronicle certain legends, careers and don't let those people, you know, kind of like classic rock music, don't let it die.
Exactly, and like I told you when we had a conversation last week, the one thing that we want to process and help people understand here is that we want to give people their roses while they're still here. The last thing we want to do is sit here and have a barrage of rest in peace episodes. Right. Now, as far as the organization that you're speaking of, like off the top of your head, is there any organizations, like for instance, if you had the camera right now, you hopped in the car, you went out, what organizations or what wrestlers would you want to chronicle right now to let people know you're next up, or you're coming right now? Like who are the people that you got your eye on right now this second?
Actually, I don't have my eye on anybody. I have my eye on the independent wrestling business and the independent wrestling circuit.
Oh, as a whole, got you. Okay.
Whoever they may be. I frankly don't really care who they are. It's the fans that need to know who they are, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, absolutely.
Whoever the name is, that's who we'll showcase in a certain area. Because it's just like college football. Everything's regional.
Right.
You have Division I college, you have Division II, you got Division III. You know, you got 7-on-7, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, it's still college football, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Or basketball. And everything's regional. And who comes out of those areas? We don't know. But if they come out of that area and we've showcased them, where did you see them first? We want to try to get out there the stars of tomorrow. And whoever the stars may be, I don't know who they are, but when they pop up, I can always look back and go, hey, man, we showcased that guy on our show.
Excellent, excellent. We do know that you're a veteran of the territory era, and which means you've logged a lot of miles on the road. So we got a couple fun questions we want to ask just to kind of get some background from you, get some opinion from you on just the aspect of traveling. So first question, who is the best long drive DJ you've ever rode with?
You say DJ?
Yeah, if someone's got to be in charge of the radio while we're driving up and down the road, who's the best for that job that you've ever been in the car with?
The thing about riding up and down the road, man, the last thing you really listen to is the radio because you're talking all the time. The only time you listen to the radio is when you're riding along.
Okay. So on a solo road trip, what kind of music do you prefer?
Whatever a radio in that car picks up. You know, my music is very broad. You know, the kind of music that I like is very broad. Very, very broad. I mean, it's very wide. I'm not a stigma for a certain type of music. I like everything, and I can appreciate everything.
Absolutely.
I'm an open-minded person.
Indeed. Who's someone that you listen to that people wouldn't expect?
Well, if you knew me, you would say that's him. But if you don't know me and you just got a vision in your mind of who I may be as an African-American male, then that's totally different.
Right.
So in essence, I like to listen to what I like to listen to.
So you had a chance to live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, obviously living in Houston, and as well as Atlanta. So which has the best food, Dallas, Atlanta, or Houston?
Probably Atlanta.
Okay. Prettiest women, Dallas, Atlanta, or Houston?
Probably Atlanta.
Best weather, Dallas, Atlanta, or Houston?
Probably Atlanta.
Atlanta wins.
Atlanta wins the
win, place, and show for Atlanta.
I mean, Houston is okay. It just gets super hot in the summertime, you know?
Yeah, the humidity is real in Houston.
How you liking that cold down there right now?
Well, this ain't too bad.
I'm glad you can appreciate that.
41 degrees is not a bad.
No, I totally agree. You got to keep in mind, I moved here 11 years ago from Milwaukee. The day I moved to Dallas, I had 3 feet of snow in my front yard. And as I drove from state to state, I watched the snow melt. I can totally understand 41 being like summertime for some people.
This is, you know, this actually, if you live down here, you know, you live with the devil, man, for like.
Yes. Yeah, true.
The devil just left a couple of weeks ago, you know?
Just left out of here.
Yeah, he'll probably be back on Saturday.
You know, the devil just packed his bags, man. He ain't been gone that long, you know? So we can appreciate, you know, as soon as he leaves, you know, hey, we kind of digging this, bro. Seriously.
Absolutely. So when you're not working, where's your favorite place to vacation?
You know what? I've been so many places, man, to the point where as long as I just get away from my daily grind, I'm cool with it, you know? Okay. I've been all over the world twice. So I don't really sweat, you know what I'm saying, vacations and look forward to doing this. As long as my vacation kind of like takes place in my mind.
Okay. I can absolutely, I can see that. Absolutely.
As far as sports goes, are you into any major sports franchises right now? Football, whether it be football, basketball, whatever.
Well, you know, in my line of work, you know, and what I've been doing over the last few years, I got to stay up on pretty much everything.
Got you. All right,
so you know,
so who is your favorite? Like you at the house watching, and I understand like you got to keep abreast of everything, but like we diehard Cowboys fans, we got to say it.
True.
Right.
Who you riding with?
Well, my favorite team since 1972 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I still ride with them to this day. You know,
great choice. They got a lot of rings.
Because one, they had a connection with some of my family, which is from Louisiana, and one of my brothers went to Grambling, and one of the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day when my brother was in college was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers #1. So, and Terry Bradshaw is from close to where my grandparents are from. And so it kind of gave me a connection, you know, gave me a connection with them. So, and I kind of started riding with them back then, man, when I was a kid, and still riding with them to this day, you know, win or lose. And that's what those are the kind of conversations I have with people that are Dallas Cowboy fans that live here.
Uh-huh.
You were a Dallas Cowboy fan last year, but you're not one this year. When they're down, you jump off the wagon. When they're up, you jump on the wagon. Them the kind of Dallas Cowboy fans we got down here.
We can't even call them people friends in our circle.
Yeah, that's rough.
And that really behooves me, because it's like, brother, if that's your team, you know, you live and die with them, brother. That's what, when the winning gets good, that's what makes you appreciate it. Right. Everybody want to win all the time.
Can't appreciate sunshine unless you get some rain.
Yeah, the easiest thing in the world is to jump on the bandwagon when the wagon is going on the smooth road. That's the easiest thing in the world. The hardest thing is to go through the trials and tribulations. Just like a marriage. Marriage get bad, you want to get out? Then what the hell you get in for?
Right. Stevie, let me ask you this. Who's the best athlete you've ever seen in person not named Stevie Ray?
Probably my brother.
Okay.
Yeah, probably my brother.
That's incredible. So if your brother was not a professional wrestler, what sport do you think he would excel at?
I think my brother would excel at any sport.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He put his mind to it. I think he would excel at it.
Is he better at any one than the other?
Everybody in my family are athletes. So, you know, it was just passed down from generation to generation and from, you know, one sibling to another. So it's like, that's all you know in my family.
Before we wrap up, first off, we do want to appreciate you for hopping on here with us, giving us a bit of what's inside of Stevie Ray. Hopefully we can do this again sometime soon, or even better, like we originally had planned to do it, you know, down in Houston when we go down to visit Houston.
Right.
Before we go ahead and plug everything that you got to plug, man. Any projects you got coming up, your shows, social media, anything you got going on, plug away.
Well, you know, my Twitter is The Real Stevie Ray. You know, they can reach me on Instagram. I mean, my Instagram is The Real Stevie Ray. And you can go to my Facebook page, Stevie Ray Athlete. You know, I'm doing one podcast. You can go to podcast that I do called Wrestling with History. And my new podcast that I'm working on right now is Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray. And like I said, I'm getting ready to drop a new wrestling magazine, which I'm going to call Inside Professional Wrestling. And I'm also working with Houston Community College. I wrote a documentary that I'm working on right now with Houston Community College with some of the students there. So we're putting that together as we speak right now. I don't have a date yet. I'm going to put together at a club here in town how you see how some of the kids today put, you know, album drop parties and stuff like that. Well, when I'm doing my news magazine, I'm going to do a drop party at one of the downtown clubs here.
Outstanding.
Get off.
Absolutely. Keep us abreast of those of that date, and we'll definitely make the trip down there to support.
Hey, it'd be cool, man, because we're going to highlight everything and everybody that comes through there. I'm actually going to have the cameras there for that too, to put that on YouTube. So that will be showcasing that will be showcasing what we're getting ready to do. It's kind of crazy. It's going to be kind of inverted. So, but I'm pretty excited about it, man. So that's some of the things that I'm doing, man.
Well, good deal, man. We do appreciate you for hopping on the Broken Pencil Booking Company. Suave, take us to the house.
Pencil pushers. Heads up, pencils down.